Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Colonial Downs here on Saturday. It is August the 10th, 2019. I'm going to look at the stakes races on the program from Colonial, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me today for my Saratoga 4-Star Dave preview video and also my Arlington Million preview video. And remember, if you like international racing, join me tomorrow for one of the best British Cup mile prep races I think in the world. It's the Prix Jacques Maurice Stakes from Deauville, and I'll have preview and selection for that race and all the other stakes races on that card from Deauville. To keep in mind, a lot of the British Cup mile winners in the past from Europe have come from France, so it's those mile races you want to keep extra attention to. But let's get back to the States here. It's Colonial, third day of the Renaissance meeting from Colonial, and the first thing to recap Thursday's card, you saw some great payouts for the superfectas, the trifectas, and just all around great payouts. And I missed looking at yesterday's card. It was very busy. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal surroundings today, but today I had some extra time to look at Saturday's card, and I think you can make some money here. So we're gonna look at all the stakes races. We have four of them to get to: races 5, 8, 9, and 10, and guess what, they're all on turf, and tonight's card is great here, so hopefully you look at it, and also some decent takeout rates. But let's get to the fifth race from Colonial, which is the Tyson Gilpin Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000, race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 7 horses going to the outer turf course at the distance of ground of 1,100 meters, or the distance of ground of 5.5 furlongs on that outer turf course. 1,100, 5.5 furlongs. The top selection, I'm going to go with the number 3 horse here, who is Solarte. I'm going to go 3-2-5-1 in the superfecta, 3-2-5-1 super. Top selection, the 3 horse Solarte. 5-year-old mare by With Distinction. Sarah Nagel gets Ruiz up in saddle, The horse's most recent out came 21st of June at Laurel, 5 furlongs on lawn and a starter handicap. The horse finished 7th by 5.25 lengths. Didn't have Lasix that day, and stalked, but just hit the wall completely and just didn't show up. It wasn't the day to win. Is not getting Lasix again today, so just keep that in mind. Before that, at Belmont, 6 furlongs inner turf course, May 17th, and claiming 32. The horse finished 5th by 2 lengths. Set the pace early on, but then kind of weakened out of it. But also, this horse broke horribly that afternoon, but she still ran her heart out for the first 5.5 furlongs. And then before that, claiming 16 at Tampa, 1 mile on April the 9th. April 6th. First off the break, the horse finished 5th by 2.5 lengths. Not a router and just never got into it. But her sprinting races have been very good. Broke her turf main at Goldstream very nicely, going 5/8 in December, and then ran very good races at Charlestown, going 4.5. The 5.5 trip should be well. Back to a sprinting trip. Lesser quality horses at 4-1. I expect her to run well, so I'll take her here. So to recap my selection for the 5th from Colonial, it's the Tyson Gilpin Stakes. Let's take the 3 horse Solarte. We'll go 3-2-5-1 in the superfecta. So we're going to scroll over to race number 8 now from Colonial, which is the Meadow Stable Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 1,100 meters, or the distance of ground of 5.5 furlongs on that outer turf course. 1,100 meters, 5.5 furlongs. My top selection here, I'm going to take the number 8 horse, the 8 horse who is Elusive Mischief. I'll go 8-4-10-6 in the superfecta, 8-4-10-6 super. And if you're going to play the late doubles or late pick 3s, whatever, the pick 4 starts with this race, by the way, I would single the 8 horse Elusive Mischief. I think he's much the best horse here. There's 4 Colby into the Mischief. Ian Wilkes trains. Simon Russell gets them out. The horse's most recent outing, though, came the 29th of June at Churchill, 7 furlongs into Kelly's Landing, and the horse finished 7th by 13.75 lengths. His better races have come on turf, but that day this horse had interference and just never was comfortable, and everything just went wrong for this horse. Before then, the Mighty Bow Stakes at Churchill, 5 furlongs June the 1st. First off, a long break. The horse finished 7th by 5.25 lengths. Again, got bumped at the start and just weakened out of it, and just was never himself there. And then at Laurel, 5.5 on the slop off the turf in the Punchline Stakes last September. The horse won by 5.25 lengths. Was the speed that day and just kept on going. The crowd was playing towards speed that afternoon, but it was still a very good run. Like I said, this horse loves the turf, and if if he gets a good clear trip, I think he can win. He ran a decent third place finish in the Barley Stakes at Woodbine last June, and then before that won a very nice race at Woodbine on the Tapeta, and then broke the main at the Fairgrounds last winter very nicely, sprinting going 5.5. I like this horse a lot, 6-5, low price, but I still think he'll run decently, so I'll take him as a top selection. So to recap my selection for the 8th from Colonial, it's the Meadow Stable Stakes. Let's take the 8-horse Elusive Mischief. We'll go 8, 4, 10, 6 in the superfecta. So now let's get to race number 9 from Colonial. Race number 9 from Colonial now. It is the Nellie Mae Cox Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000. Race for Phillies Mayors, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses going to the turf course now, the inner turf course. The distance of ground of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on that inner turf course. 1,600, 1 mile inner turf. My top selection, I'm going to take the number 3 horse here, who is Dervin. I'll go 3, 4, 5, 7 in the superfecta. 3, 4, 5, 7 super. Top selection, 3 horse Dervin. 5-0 mare by First Dude. Sarah Nagel trains, gets Ruiz up in the saddle. Let's give the owner, the trainer, jockey, a stakes double today. The horse's most recent outing, though, came the 7th of July Gulfstream. 7.5 furlongs and an optional 50 claimer. The horse finished 6 by 2.25 lengths. Was very wide and just had nothing. Absolutely showed up nothing. It wasn't the date win. Before that, at Gulfstream, the 8th of June, 1 mile and a claim 12.50. This horse showed up and won by a nose. Stalked from a wide poster. Was a little bit wide, but he fought a good race to the end. It was a very good run. And then at Suffolk, 7.5 and a claim 12.50. The horse finished 5th by 9.25 lengths. Stalked and just never got the good turn of foot, but never weakened out of it. Just kind of stayed the trip. And then before that, claim 12.50 at Gulfstream, 7.5. First off, a long break. The horse finished third by half length. He stalked. He just couldn't get the good turn of foot, but I thought he ran decently. He likes these mile trips. He's going to get it today. He gets sit closer. There's not a lot of speed in this race, and I think at 9-2, he could set some easy fraction and get away with it. So I'll take him here. So to recap my selection for the 9th from Colonial, it's the Nellie Mae Cox Stakes. Let's take the 3-horse Dervin. We'll go 3, 4, 5, 7 in the superfecta. The feature 10th race now from Colonial. It is the Edward P. Evans Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses, again to the inner turf course. A distance of ground of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on that inner turf course. 1,600, 1 mile. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 7 horse here. The 7 horse who is Black Prong. I'm going to go 7-6-8-3 in the superfecta. 7-6-8-3 super. Top selection, 7 horse Black Prong. 5-year-old Gilpin by Wiseman Ferry. Sarah Nagel trains. J.D. Acosta gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came the 29th of June at Suffolk. 7.5 and a claiming 7,500. The horse finished second by a length that day. Was often on the lead all throughout. A little bit wide. He just couldn't get the good turn of foot, but I still thought she ran quite decently. Before that 17th of May at Gulfstream, 1 mile and claiming 20,000, the horse finished 8th by 10 lengths and was very wide and just had nothing. Wasn't the day to win. And then at Tampa, mile 16th and claiming 10, the horse finished 8th by 10 3/4 lengths. Was very wide and again, just had nothing and wasn't her day. And then at Gulfstream Park, Calder, mile 16th claiming 8, stepping all the way down to a lower level. The horse won by length, sat back early, had a great turn of foot, and she just took off clear. That was a very good run because before that, this horse ran a craft race at the Meadowlands, mile 16th soft ground, the Star Lounge race. The horse is declared a non-starter, finished 6th by 30 1/4 lengths. Keep in mind the winner, Montclair, is a decent kind of claiming horse, but then was a heavy favorite that day. But I remember this race so clearly. Just reared up at the beginning and just was non-starter. But it looked a little live that afternoon. I remember possibly picking this horse. I remember that race so clearly because Montclair just put on a show. But this horse, like I said, it was just not his fault. Well, it was his fault. But before that, ran a decent race at Gulfstream, 1 mile and claimed 10. The horse won by 1 3/4, sat back early, got the lead, and then took off clear. I like this horse a lot. It's a very wide open stakes finale here. And at 8-1, I think this horse get a piece of it. So let's give Sarah Nagel her third stakes victory of the evening. So to recap my selection for the 10th from Colonial, it's Edward P. Evans. Let's take the 7 horse Black Prong. We'll go 7-6-8-3 in this superfecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.